Hi there, everybody. I hope you've had a great week. Towards the beginning of Parshat Vayishlach, we see that Yaakov is preparing his family for a potential war with Esav, as he gets word that Esav is coming towards him with 400 men, and the Torah describes Yaakov as being very fearful. Vayira Yaakov me'od. And the question that should bother us is, why is he so fearful? There's a question Rav Zalman Sorotskin in his work Oznayim LaTorah points out. Why would he have been so afraid? There are two reasons that he should not be afraid. Number one is mitzad ha'aftachot, the promises that God has made him. He says, God has told him, Ushmarticha b'chol asher telech, I'm going to keep you safe in all of your travelings, wherever you're going. Vashivoticha ala adama hazot, I'm going to bring you back to Israel. Don't worry, it's going to be okay. Vishuv el eretz avotecha, you're going to return to the land of your fathers. And he says, Ve'eyeh imach, I'm going to be with you. God promises Yaakov, I'm going to be with you. So mitzad, from the perspective of God's promises, why is he worried? Why is he nervous? Doesn't he know God's got his back? And Rav Sorotskin points out that gam mitzad hateva, just focusing on the physical world, forgetting for a moment God's promises to him. This is the same Yaakov who pushed a rock that no one else could push off a well when he first meets Rachel. This is somebody who, even aside from the story of the well, he has two children who are capable and take out essentially the whole city of Shechem. He has Giborim behind him. His children are not exactly people who can't stand up for the family. Yaakov and his family are themselves a force to be reckoned with. So why is Yaakov fearful of Esav as he approaches? He's got the promise from God, and he has the physical strength himself, along with his family, to most certainly overcome that which Esav might throw at him. And Rav Sorotskin points out so well, so beautifully, picking up very carefully on the language used in the Torah. Yaakov says in his tefillah to God, in his prayer to God, Hatzileni na miyad achi miyad Esav. Please, I request of you, God, save me from my brother, from Esav. What was bothering Yaakov? He didn't know. He says it twice, brother and Esav. Because Hare, he writes, Shehibia Yaakov et hasafek. He was in a state of doubt. What was the purpose? What mindset was Esav coming towards Yaakov? Is he coming as a brother? He wants to reconcile 20 years later. He's moved on. His life's okay. Or no, is he coming to settle a score? He wants war. He wants revenge. It's the fact that he's in a state of safek, of doubt, that gives Yaakov the most fear. If he knew it was war, Yaakov would prepare. He would draw up the battle plans. If he knew that he was coming as a brother to reconcile, he knows that he doesn't have to preempt. He doesn't have to start thinking about the fears of a preemptive strike that might be, tantamount to murder if he preemptively strikes and there was no intention of Esav to attack. That would be a severe crime. He is in a state of safek, of doubt. And this is creating his fear. Do I preemptively strike? Do I hold back and maybe then he attacks me first? I don't know what to do. How often are our fears driven by the fact that we don't know? We don't have control. We don't yet understand every situation in our lives. Safek, doubt, is a great cause of our fears. We don't know what the future is. But what Yaakov had on his side at the end of the day was he did his hishtadlut. He did everything he can to prepare for all scenarios, and he davened to God, and he had a spiritual connection. The best way to face a time of uncertainty, a time of doubt, personally as a Jewish nation or as a community, is to do everything we can to prepare for the various scenarios that may be. And then after we prepare, we daven. We do as much as we can, and we daven. This is our response. This is the Torah's message and lesson to us about how to deal with doubt and uncertainty in our lives. We do what we can, and we daven to God. This is the recipe for us to try to push forward through those times. May we all succeed in those challenging moments of suffix in our lives to follow the playbook of Yaakov Avinu. Shabbat Shalom, everybody.